With all the hard work that I've been doing, it's been official that this is my final video essay on the 8 Harry Potter movies. And if you watch some of the other ones that I did, I supported each film, but I tend to bash them a couple of times. And it is possible that a few of them did let me down, specifically The Goblet of Fire, The Order of the Phoenix, and Deathly Hallows Part 1. And in this video, I'm going to discuss Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, or if you're not from America, the Philosopher's Stone. I don't know which one I should go with, but a lot of people say Philosophers. Most American people don't know what it is, but I decided to go with Sorcerers. For me, to be honest, the Sorcerer's Stone is ironically one of the best introductions to the film series as a whole. And when I made my video ranking of the 8 Harry Potter movies, this was my second favorite film of the franchise, which is just between Prisoner of Azkaban and The Half-Blood Prince. But if The Half-Blood Prince wouldn't have been in my number 3 spot, then I would replace it to make Deathly Hallows Part 2 my third favorite movie, and The Half-Blood Prince being a number 4 spot. And it turns out that I was right. And on top of that, I feel like this movie was adapted pretty well to the book that it was based upon. And the man that deserves the applause is Chris Columbus. Not only that he directed this movie, but he eventually directed the second movie as well. Because when working on this film, he knew that the child actors really were surprised when it came to filming a fantasy magical movie. So the fact that he was able to help the kids act really was charming, to say the least. Now, because he knew that they were about to be 7 books, but due to J.K. Rowling, who wrote all the books, who is the author of the series, he did mention that there are about to be 7 films, possibly. So even if he knew that he wouldn't do it for the studio, as well as for the films entirely, then the entire franchise would fail. Even when you take a look at other films that he did, such as Home Alone and Mrs. Doubtfire, they were such classic kids movie. So the fact that he was able to do it for a children's story for Harry Potter, it really is nice to work with this stuff, especially because, well, he's more of a kids film person entirely. Because even when the series do get darker, other directors in the series, like Alfonso Cuarón, who directed the 3rd film, will be able to darken the series up, which I think he did great. As for Mike Newell, who directed the 4th film, well, he didn't really butcher this movie entirely, considering he didn't read any of the books before he took the job, which is very surprising and unsettling. And even David Yates would eventually be able to finish the whole films altogether. Even the Sorcerer's Stone movie does have some great comedy scenes that really make this movie very lighthearted. And the best examples of this is the Christmas scenes, which in my opinion is my favorite scene in the entire film. Because even when it draws you in, it makes you're feeling a comfortable, warm, safe place. Even the Diagon Alley scene is so phenomenal, and the set design they did was outstanding, and Stuart Craig did every single set design for all the films. While the CGI in this film were great, Chris Columbus did state that he does have problems with it, specifically with the ghosts. He did a great job with the second film when he created Fawkes and the Basilisk, so why couldn't he even did the same thing with the ghosts, especially the trolls, which I don't think it was the blame for this, to be honest. Now, when it comes to adapting a book to the big screen, it's pretty possible that all the books do get long, but even when it is the shortest book, they keep the overall pacing in this movie very well put out. When I made my video essay on The Prisoner of Azkaban, I discussed how Alfonso Cuarón was able to make this movie so cinematic and also exactly the same thing when it comes to the pacing as well. Some of the coolest scenes in this movie was the one-shot take of the Leaky Cauldron, the bridge scene, a location that we never see in the books, that was only made for the films. The Shrieking Shack scene, to me, was very complicated with the way how they filmed it, as the camera tilts while the walls and the floor starts to move. And my favorite sequence with cinematography is the time turner scene, where he zooms in and zooms out while he plays the time lapse in it was so thrilling. And it even comes the same way when it comes to both, when they keep the pacing very well put out, even when there's some boring moments that could have been more exciting. And speaking of, I've seen so many people discussing on how the Order of the Phoenix book is everyone's least favorite in the series, but said that the film is their favorite, considering that there was lots of boring things in this book, but preferred the action and fast-paced version of this movie. Me personally, this book was my least favorite, but after rereading it a few times, I started to think to myself, hey, maybe this book isn't so bad after all. But even so, when this film is my least favorite out of the 8, not that it's bad, but I still enjoy it. There were some things in this movie that I still wish they could have had, because David Yates focused on the characters that are in that world, while the previous 4 films focused all about the world of Harry Potter. And I will say, there were some boring parts in this book that drags, such as the trio, as well as the Weasleys fixing Grimmauld Place up, Harry's disastrous date with Cho and Madame Puttyfoots, too many OWL exams, so much homework assignments that Harry has to deal with, all the Umbridge nonsense, and so on. And while I say this film did do a good job of translating those things into a fast-paced movie, I still sometimes wish they would have had at least one scene, which was at least St. Mungo's Hospital, and some Quidditch scenes were okay to cut out. I still sometimes wish they would have had Harry beating up Malfoy alongside with George. While there are some enjoyable moments in this movie, there was one biggest issue that I would say was the way that Quirrell died at the end of this movie. His death was way more different than how it was in the books, because in the books, Harry grabs hold of Quirrell and never let go of him. Quirrell then has second to third degree burns, and then he passes out when Dumbledore saves him when both Quirrell and Harry were about to die, so he did not fall apart like dust in the book. And the same thing goes with the way how Ron was handled with the Devil's Snare scene. In this scene, Hermione's calm, cool, and collected while Ron just screams and panics. Whereas in the book, it was Harry's idea to set the fire, and Ron talks sense into Hermione so that way she would be able to help save the two. We all know that Steve Kloves said that his favorite character was Hermione, so the blame goes on him. Overall, this movie is by far one of the best films that has a great introduction. With the cinematography of how it was shot, the way the Christmas scenes and the lightheartedness of this film, and so many other things too, because The Sorcerer's Stone is to me the best film that has a great introduction. And that is every single video essay on all the Harry Potter films that I've done. I hope you guys enjoy, so be sure to look out for more videos that I will do. So see you next time.